Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make some no-sew summer outfits for your stuffed animals. They're all really quick and easy, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with all the outfits you can make out of a sock. So for me, these can only fit very small stuffed animals, but if you can find any larger or stretchier socks, they can fit bigger stuffed animals. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a romper since someone requested a no-sew romper for a Beanie Boo. And for this one, the sock pattern will be upside down, so I tried to pick one where it wasn't as obvious. And at the toe of the sock, I want to cut the hole for the head. So I'm making mine pretty big since a Beanie Boo does have a pretty big head. But these socks are usually really stretchy, so it probably doesn't have to be that big. And then I'm going to cut holes for the arm right below that. And this is how you can cut the straps to look however you want. Just make sure to not go too thin. Okay, now I'm going to try this on real quick, which is tricky considering how big it is, so it's going to be a little bit tight, but I'm really just checking where I need to cut this to be the right size to go all the way down to her feet. Now, for some reason, I trimmed off the extra when she was still wearing it, so I obviously couldn't get it that accurate, so later I trimmed off some more so it would just go a little bit past her feet. Next, I'm going to turn this inside out and add a safety pin right in the middle of this open edge, and that'll turn it from a dress to a romper. But if you don't have a safety pin, you could also use glue. I didn't even mean to use this really tiny safety pin, it was just the only one I could find. And the further away you put the safety pin from the edge, the longer I guess the pant leg would be. So if you want them to be a little bit longer, just put it higher up on the sock. Now after trying these on, they were a little bit long for her feet since she doesn't really have legs, she just has feet. So I kind of tucked in that raw edge so her feet would stick out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the basic romper. But to me, it was looking a little bit like Frog and Toad's swimsuit. So I tried to dress it up by adding a belt, which is just a really thin piece cut off of the sock. And at first I tied it in the back, but it didn't look great from the front, so I just turned it around so the bow was kind of in the front. Then one more thing I did was cut the very top of the sock that has this kind of ribbed edge and had her wear that as a headband. And I think all that together made it look a little more like a full outfit. I know a lot of Beanie Boos aren't standing up like this, but this can still work for a Beanie Boo in the sitting position. Obviously, trying the exact same one on her, it doesn't fit great, but the main thing you'd have to change is just to put the armholes kind of in the front and not directly on the sides since her arms kind of go out from the front. I believe I did something like this in my fall no-sew clothes video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't. Okay, Skippy's back to do the next one because unfortunately this will only fit a stuffed animal in the standing position. And this is going to be a little bikini, again, out of a sock. But of course, you could always make it a one piece. For the top, I'm again starting at the toe of the sock, and this time I'm going to make more of that triangle shape. So I'm going to have pretty skinny straps and then a curved shape at the top. Remember, this is going to stretch out a lot, so it's going to look a lot smaller on her, so keep that in mind. Then cutting this off, I'm making sure to leave a thin band at the bottom. Now trying this on, it fit well and looked pretty good, but it was just not the exact style I was going for because I wanted more of that like pinched look right in the middle. So to fix that without cutting it too thin, I'm just taking a little piece of thread and tying it around that center part, and I have it flipped inside out so the knot is in the back. After doing a double knot and trimming off the excess, I thought it was looking good. It was kind of reminding me of like The Little Mermaid. So it would be cute if I could have like green bottoms to match, but I'm just going to be using the rest of this purple sock. And for a standing stuffed animal like her, where her feet are just like right in the front, I'm going to have her kind of sit in the heel of the sock, so there's that nice clean band at the top. And then I can just trim that to be a lot shorter. And then since I don't want this to look like shorts, I'm cutting kind of curves for the leg holes. And this is mainly just so it looks like the cut of a swimsuit. And then of course, to close up the middle, I'm going to turn it inside out and add that safety pin. After trying it on one more time, I decided to make the cuts of the legs a little bit more curved. Now trying them on, I think they look good. They ride up a little bit high, so I tried tucking it in just to see how it looked, and it was slipping more, but I think it looked a little better. Okay, now that's it on how to make this swimsuit. Real quick though, if you want to make this without using any safety pin at all, you could cut the top out up here, so really along the sides is where the straps would connect, or you could even just leave them long and have it tie in the back, and then you could cut the bottoms out of the toe so everything's already connected. Okay, now to give some options for the guys, I'm going to be making a muscle tee, or at least my attempt of one, because I'm not even positive that's the right word for what I was going for. It's basically a tank top, so I'm going to be making this in a similar way I did the romper. So first cut out the neckline, and then I'm making sure to leave the sleeves a little bit thicker if you want more of a muscle tee look. And I made the interesting choice of making the armholes really long, because some men's tank tops are like that, but those tank tops are usually very loose, so I think that's where this one went wrong. After trying it on, it was also way too long, so I had to cut it so it basically ends right below those armholes. It didn't turn out looking that bad. It kind of just looks like, something he'd go to the gym in. But since this was an athletic sock, it kind of sucks him in at the stomach, which makes it seem like he did a bunch of chest workouts. Next, with the heel of the sock, I'm going to make some shorts for a sitting stuffed animal. Since it's kind of baggy in the back, I'm going to cut a tail hole to make it look more fitted. I'm just making one vertical cut to match the shape of his tail. And then the last step is, of course, to add that fastener in the middle. And if it looks like I've been using the same safety pin this entire time, I was. I had to keep taking these outfits apart because I could not find any more safety pins, but luckily I did end up finding some so I could film the intro all at once. But yeah, that's it for these shorts. For some reason, these are reminding me of Kristoff from Frozen. I think the color and the purple just matches his hat, but I think it also kind of has a sporty, active look. Okay, lastly, I'm going to make something for the bigger stuffed animals out there, and that is a corset top. Now, I know some people requested an actual corset or corset top, so I will eventually make a video on that involving sewing, but this no-sew version is really just inspired by that look and will tie in the back like a corset. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is cutting out my pattern, and this one I'm using is a little bit small for a Build-A-Bear because the piece of felt I'm using is not very big, so I needed something that could wrap around a skinnier stuffed animal, but I'll make this slightly bigger for a Build-A-Bear and link that printable. Okay, after cutting it out, I need to cut some holes on the side for the ribbon to go through and tie up. So I'm just folding over that edge and making horizontal cuts to really maximize how many I can fit. I did 4 on each side. Then I can wrap this around my stuffed animal and grab some ribbon. This color I wanted to use was a little bit thick, but I just tried folding it in half as I laced it through, and that naturally made it a little bit thinner. And you can lace this up however you want to, but I just followed photos of actual corsets. So I first put it through that top loop, and then I kind of zigzagged it down so I'd know how much to cut, making sure to still leave enough to tie a bow at the bottom. Then I'm going to start lacing them through the diagonal holes from the back, and keep crossing back and forth until I get to the bottom. If you want this to have more of a corset effect that kind of cinches at the waist, you could have cut these sides at an angle so it's more narrow at the bottom. But I was afraid my felt piece was going to be too small already, so I didn't do that, but it kind of fit perfectly, so maybe I should have. Then I can just tie the ribbon in a bow, and I always do it upside down because whatever way I tie my bow, it always ends up upside down. Then I can trim the ends, but I'm going to leave them pretty long in case I want to put this on a bigger stuffed animal. But I wasn't loving how it looked from the front, so I made these curves a little bit more dramatic at the top. Then I'm going to add some thin strips of felt so it has more of that structured look. So I've just cut out these really thin rectangles, and I'm going to do 2 on each side at kind of an angle going in, so it kind of has that cinched look even though the actual sides aren't angled like that. I'm using hot glue to glue these on, but you could also use any kind of thick liquid glue so it doesn't soak in too easily. After gluing them all on, I can just trim off the extra, and that's pretty much it. You've already seen me lace these up, so I'm going to put it on real quick. And this time, to make it look a little tighter on the bottom, I had the lacing be a little more loose at the top and then kind of tightened it as I went down. I don't know if it made that much of a difference, but I didn't want to squeeze her in too much. But yeah, that's it for this faux corset top. Now that is it for this no-sew summer clothes video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I know a lot of people have been requesting no-sew clothes. It would be great if you could give this video a like, comment any video requests you have, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye!